I'm not nervous yet. I have no idea what's going to happen when I start speaking, though. I might get the shakes. Costa Mesa. I got connected with this guy Justin, who does a company called AthletesTouch. He was a professional baseball player, stepped out away from pro sports into the business world, and created a group, like a networking group, to help athletes get through that transition and help network into business. And then it so happens he grew up in my neighborhood. Like, we have a ton of mutual friends. We never knew each other. So yeah, so now we're like boys and speaking at his event. So probably one of the biggest takeaways that I ever learned from skating is how okay and normal it is to fail, right? For skaters, so my career was not based on competing, right? A pro skateboarder, for the most part, lives off of video parts, right? Which is a 3-minute video of me skating, which usually takes about 3 years to complete a 3-minute film, right? And for skating, we cannot do the same trick as someone else has already done on a spot. So for the surfer, wherever the surfer is, imagine, somebody goes backside, pulls into a barrel pipeline. That could never be done again. That's how the skate world is, right? So it takes us so long to figure out what trick to do on one spot, which usually leads to, gosh, I think for me, it usually took about 3 hours to land one trick, right? And I'm jumping down handrails and stairs. So every single try hurts. It was a mental and physical battle that everything in me was saying, don't do this anymore. This is awful. And I would have to kind of learn how to push through that to land the one trick, right? So my world became very much fail for 4 hours, fail, land the trick one time. Next day, fail, land the trick one time, right? So I just got really comfortable with the idea of it's not about failing is just part of the process. And I'm going to fail every single day. It's just you have to go through it to get what I want to do, right?
Building on the theme of relationships, it sounds like a lot of the areas that you've gone into, have you just had to kind of learn on the fly, or have you had mentors that you've utilized to kind of, I don't know anything about operating or running a microbrewery, so I got to find somebody. How have you filled in those gaps when you didn't have the knowledge?
So that's a great question. So I always do things in teams, always. I'm not the person to do everything on my own, really, because I don't like it. I like doing things with people, 1. 2, I always try to put myself in a position where I'm the dumbest one in the room. I like the feeling of having to get smarter or be better. So I always try to, I think, surround myself with people that are, I think, smarter, better, whatever. And I think you mix that with, like, the obsessive side of me, right? Skateboarding attracts a very obsessive personality, right? So when I have been able to put somebody on my side, so the real estate's a good one for this. My 3 partners, this is their 3rd fund. They've been in commercial real estate for the last 30 plus years. I've always sat as an LP, now GP in kind of all our deals. And to have a group and mixing that with, like, a very obsessive personality, you just pick up things quick. But I don't like putting myself in a position where I have to learn on the fly, because there's mistakes made in doing that. And if it were always just my money, then fine. But when you start dealing with other people's money, I don't want to put my lack of knowledge and risk their kind of money in doing so. So I've always tried to surround myself with good people.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Biggest advice I could give, I guess, a kid starting out in business or entrepreneurship, for me, I've always tried to surround myself with people who are smarter than me. I've always wanted to be the dumbest person in the room, so that I always felt like I only had upside. I could only become better, smarter, and that's what I've always done. And I've just always tried to humble myself and not try to be the man. And it's always brought so much more out of me doing it that way. And it really helps really minimize a lot of risk in the things you don't know and kind of the failures that you'll have. And that's what I've always tried to do, and it's always worked for me. So I think like surrounding yourself with people who are better than you or smarter than you, do that at any time you can.